Our first show of this season, of this academic year, is The Night Thoreau Spent in Jail. It looks at Henry David Thoreau when he was a young man, when he stood up as an act of civil disobedience and refused to pay his taxes because he didn't want the money being used to support the Mexican War.
You're going to arrest me?
Well, I don't want to, Henry, but the government gets persnickety about tax, especially when we got a war going.
It's very simple, really. What the government of this country is doing turns my stomach. And if I keep my mouth shut, I'm a criminal. To myself, to society, to my God, to my conscience.
Because the structure of the storytelling in this play is non-linear and there's no unity of time or place, I decided that it was best told through two different genres. The first one being Impressionism, which I use exclusively inside of the jail cell, and then Surrealism, which are the memories in Thoreau's mind as he revisits experiences from his life outside of the jail cell. And in the theater, we think of it in terms of a dreamlike state in which things tend to be exaggerated more, and very often you tend to see that they're more colorful because of that. They do not need to have a linear plot line.
What the special assistant does is, I'm there during every rehearsal with Mo. She has a concept that, for the most part, we're driving towards, but there are points where I will see things that may, on the surface, seem not to work, and so I'm there to bounce ideas off of, to present my own ideas, and to pay special attention to those areas where the actors will need assistance. This is from day one forward, and I like that developmental process of watching the actors, and as well as the director and student directors also, all come into one giant pot and just exchange ideas, exchange difficulties, and find solutions.
This year, for both the sound, lighting, and a little bit of the student director, we have more of a hands-on experience with this, and we have more of a say than we did in the previous years. So really it's more of a collective effort rather than just mainly we can somewhat say what we want to happen, and it'll have to go through a bunch of other people like Mo and Scott. So it's really more just a collective effort.
Oliver is playing Henry David Thoreau, but we never really see him in this story as the older Thoreau, the philosopher, Thoreau, the writer. We see him as a young, idealistic man.
And in his community, he's not really as respected as he should be. I think he's a really great character, and I think it's just interesting to see how he was received when he was alive, as opposed to how his legacy is considered now.
Stars, worlds, planets, the universe is right here.
Why is it that I see no school books open here?
Will played the Reverend Ball character, which in general is the authoritative depiction of education at the time.
And so I make the rules that the education system in the town has to go by, and I'm basically everything that Henry Thoreau isn't.
So what you get in those two characters' relationship is the way it's always been done, what was considered to be the authority of the way it should be done, as opposed to the new idea of what could be done.
We are all related and interrelated to a universal mind.
That's atheism.
You know, Deacon, I sometimes wonder if atheism might even be popular with God himself.
Transcendental is blasphemy.
So opening night is always a fun night. It was really a fun day because we get to perform the play in front of our peers. It's a fun time. It's a little nerve-wracking, but you get through it once it's done.
I feel a little nervous, but I mean, I've done it a few times, so I'm just excited. Like, the show will go a lot better always on opening night because there's all the energy from the crowd and everything, so I'm really excited to do it like I practiced.
Mr. President, what are your instructions?
I wish more time to collect my thoughts. So I'm going to appoint a committee, to appoint a committee, to appoint a committee.
Lose the I must leave Walden. It isn't necessary to be there in order to be there. To be alive is to be awake. Somebody say something. Somebody speak out!
My hope is that, like Thoreau, the viewers of the production will be moved to use their voices through getting that impression of what the country needs right now, dreaming of what the country can and should become, putting those two things together, letting their voices be heard, as Thoreau did, to be agents of change.